In this video, I'm going to show you guys everything you need to know about building the perfect Pokemon for a Tera raid battle. Let's get to it. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be using my completely untrained Walking Wake because I just haven't found a raid to use it in yet. So first things first, what you're going to want to do is have a Pokemon be level 100. This is so that you can do 6 and 7-star raids as well as everything else before it. If you're watching this video, it's intended that you're at the very least in like the late game, but hopefully you're already in the post game at this point. So the first thing you're going to need to do is EV training. Now EVs, for those of you who don't know, are effort values. They are, if you go to the summary for your Pokemon here, they are that little like hexagon thing, that blue hexagon. And also, actually, they're the yellow hexagon. I lied. It's the yellow hexagon in the middle. You see the little one? So right now, my Walking Wake has 0 effort values. So we're going to change that. Now, Walking Wake is a special attacker. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this Chansey Supply in Mesagoza. Now, since we're not building like a competitively viable Pokemon, you're going to choose 2 stats to EV train in. You can have up to 252 EVs in a single stat. And you're going to buy 26 of any vitamin to completely max out that stat. So for our Walking Wake, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some HP ups. So I'm going to pay for this with LP because I'm broke. And then I already have enough calciums. But if I didn't, I would buy calcium because it is a special attacker and I want to max out its special attack stat. So preferably what you're going to want to do is buy a vitamin for either attack or special attack, depending on what kind of attacker your Pokemon is, and either HP or speed. Speed if your strategy requires your Pokemon to be faster than your opponent, and HP if your strategy requires more of a defensive set. So once you have those, once you have those vitamins, you're going to want to just go to your bag and apply them to your Pokemon. When you go to your Pokemon summary and you press the L button on this screen, you'll see there the HP and the special attack, those are sparkling. Now you know that the effort values for those stats are completely maxed out. And you can only have 2 effort values be maxed out at once. So you can have HP and special attack, HP and attack, HP and speed, whatever. You just can't have all of them maxed out. So you could either use vitamins, that's the less time-consuming method, or if you want to save money, you can also use the power items. So you just equip the respective power item to your Pokemon and just grind the Pokemon up in the wild, and it'll get effort values in that stat when it defeats wild Pokemon. But I don't want to do that because I want to make a YouTube video and not grind. So next up, you're going to want to go to Montevera here. This is where we're going to be hyper training our Pokemon. And it's important that your Pokemon is over level 50, because in this game, you can only hyper train a Pokemon if its level is above 50. Now, what hyper training does is essentially it will max out a Pokemon's IVs, or individual values. So what those are basically, they're completely randomly determined. You can't influence them really in any way aside from breeding. So the best way to max them out is to just hyper train them. So you can do this with bottle caps, which you can buy either at Delibird presents or by completing Tera raids. I believe they're $50,000 in Delibird presents. If I'm incorrect, when I'm editing this, I'll put the correct price up on screen. But yeah, you can buy them either in Delibird presents or you can win them in Tera raids. So I have 6 bottle caps. Now, typically you're going to want to raise 5 stats max. HP, the stat that you, or the attack stat that you want to raise, physical defense, special defense, and speed. You can sacrifice one of the defenses if you know the Tera raid Pokemon that you're fighting is a certain type of attacker. So for example, the current Decidueye raid that's out right now, he is a pure physical attacker. So if you want, you can only you could put effort values in HP, an attack stat of your choice, physical defense, and speed. You don't have to go with that other attack stat and special defense, because special defense is unnecessary, but it really depends on what you're trying to prepare this Pokemon for. So it looks like Walking Wake has 4 perfect IVs already, so an IV of 31 in all of its stats except for defense and special attack. So I'm going to go ahead and do both of those, so I can have max stats in all of them, because I don't know what it's going to do yet. So we're going to Hyper Train it. So the next thing you're going to want to do is change your Pokemon's nature. Now, natures do 2 things. They raise one stat, and they lower another stat. So as you can see here, my Walking Wake, it's a Brave nature, and Brave raises attack, and it lowers speed, which is actually a really bad nature for this, because we're not going to be using our physical attack stat at all, and we also want this thing to be as fast as it can be. So we're actually going to change its nature with a Nature Mint. So it's in this candy section. You go all the way down. I have a few. You can actually buy them in the same Chansey supply in Messagoza as you get the vitamins in. You just scroll down a little more and you see those mints. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this guy a Modest Mint. So it's going to make our Walking Wake special attack higher, and it's going to make its physical attack lower. Which, again, that doesn't matter because it's not going to be using its physical attack anyway. So as you can see here, special attack is higher, physical attack is lower, and that's pretty much everything you need for the stats. The last thing you're going to need to do for your Tera Raid Pokemon is to change up its moveset. Just look up the best Tera Raid movesets for the Pokemon that you're trying to use, and then just copy those movesets. It's different for every Pokemon. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. That's how to prepare a Pokemon for a Tera Raid battle. I'll be making guides in the future for 7-star raids, sorry, for 7-star raids. And I will specify the moveset that you're going to need for the Pokemon. And hopefully, if you were watching a 7-star raid tutorial and I told you to come to this video because it would tell you how to prepare a Pokemon for it, that you're here, in which case put in the comments which 7-star Tera Raid you're watching this for. I'd really like to see which raids this video is helping out with, or just in general. Comment if this video helped you out with raids. But yeah, I think this is going to be it for this video. I am kind of glad this Walking Wake is Tera trained up, I'll say. Because when the DLC comes out, I'll definitely need it for, like, Groudon raids. This thing is going to be broken. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Go see my Decidueye raid video if the Decidueye raid is still out. It's super helpful. And I will see you all in the next video.